In Episode 7, it's an escape room review on Knights of the Round Table by LA Dragon Studios. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Once again, this is the Mystery Ship Transmissions podcast. My name is Derek, aka Sugi, and thank you for tuning in. I know we're on episode 7 now. We do have a few consistent listeners out there. I want to thank you so much for returning. For those who are new, welcome, and we hope you enjoy. Let's get right into it, starting off with our escape room review of Knights of the Round Table by LA Dragon Studios. And before we get started on this review, I'd like to do a disclaimer. We're doing this disclaimer because we were hosted by LA Dragon Studios. They reached out to us and they wanted us to check out their room. And we just want to make sure that we're transparent with you guys that are listening, especially on our escape room reviews. This in no way will change or alter our review in any way. So with that said, let's get right into it. Knights of the Round Table by LA Dragon Studios. You and your team have been summoned by Merlin himself with an important task of saving the kingdom from invaders. Follow his instructions and use your wit to find the necessary items to complete your mission. Now this room holds 2 to 7 people and you're going to have 1 hour to escape with unlimited clues. Now this is LA Dragon Studios' first room and they haven't really been open for too long now, maybe for about, from the time this recording comes out, about 6 months. Where they're located is in Van Nuys. They are in a standalone building that has its logo on the side and also on the front door of their building. And there is free reserved parking spots for the room at the location right in front. Now, just a heads up, you may or may not experience this, but we did. If you see people maybe in suits or medical scrubs coming out of the building, do not worry. You're in the right place. Thing is, the building itself is actually shared with other businesses, things like medical and also law offices. So don't be alarmed if you kind of think, "Oh, am I in the right place?" You're probably at the right place. So just go ahead. You just go through the front door or ring the bell, and you would just make your way down the hallway. You'll see a room that has the dragon logo sitting right above the door. That's the door you want to go to. And you're there. Now, LA Dragon Studios are private bookings, so you won't have to worry about being grouped with any strangers. Now, if you're all set and ready to go, let's dive into the puzzles and the difficulty. LA Dragon Studios do have a difficulty rating on their room. Now, Knights of the Round Table is given a medium difficulty with a little bit of a twist here. There are 2 different setups for this room. One setup is set up more for families or children, or families with children. So might be a bit more obvious setup maybe for some of the things that you may experience in the room. And then there's the other room, which is considered their veteran level or made for adults or experienced players. There is a lot of variety when it comes to the puzzles in this room. Very, very good, well-rounded. Doesn't necessarily keep repeating the same kind of puzzles. It's a good mix. This is considered a 3rd generation escape room. They definitely have a good mix of a lot of the puzzles that are currently out there. So definitely a good refresher from and staying away from just finding numbers and then either punching them into like a lock combo or a letter like an actual physical lock. So definitely a little bit more on the some physical actions, moving stuff around. That's definitely what you will find in this room. The game flows very well. Very good game flow. There's not really a lot in the game that you could manipulate or hack into that would give you the outcome. It's pretty straightforward. You definitely want to search and look around and use the room effectively to get through. And the clues and the things you find make sense. It doesn't really feel like you're struggling to make sense of it, or it's straightforward. It's a good flow, and it holds that throughout the whole game. And the best part is that the puzzles do make a lot of sense to the story from beginning to end, and nothing really feels out of place. Nothing is worse than an escape room in which puzzles feel like they're just there for puzzle's sake. This room utilizes it very well. Very, very good. Executed job. Now let's move on to decor. The room decor is solid. The thing that this room gets very well is the detail and the decor on the important parts of the room. So with that said, if your standards are kind of high for a completely immersive and authentic set in every single nook and cranny, then that's something that this room has a lot of room to improve upon. There's going to be some spots that you may find that be like, oh, it would have been nice to maybe sprucing it up, maybe just a little bit. But to be on the other side of that, I will say this. They put a lot of love and effort into the things where it's important. And I think you definitely need to have that. And where they do it is important, and how they execute it, they did it very, very well. And the thing about the decor is it feels very balanced. And when I say balanced, it really doesn't sway too much away from what would have kids kind of stimulated or kind of have the kids' interests, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's totally geared towards adults. It's a good balance. It's a good balance of shiny, and there's also a good balance of this feels like, they use actual wood. This feels like rock. Those are the kind of things that game masters or people who own rooms and create rooms, it's a choice. Do you want to go with authentic feeling rock walls, or do you want to just go with a hard plastic with paint? And there's a good balance here. There is music here too that fits the atmosphere, which is very important because there's been plenty of rooms where there wasn't any music, and maybe sometimes certain rooms that works. Sometimes some rooms use music, but it's not utilized very well. It doesn't really quite fit with the theme. And here, it's really what you would expect from a room, considering that it's Knights of the Round Table, so you're thinking medieval times, kind of. It's not to say that it's going to be the most authentic. Maybe some of you historians out there who know what the music was around that time, I don't know. But it definitely hits the note of what the time asked for and what we know commercially as Knights of the Round Table. So definitely good. And we also get to actually hear from Merlin from time to time. Really more utilized as something to help keep time, how much time's elapsed in your game. So a little bit interactive, a little bit immersive, nothing too extreme, but it's good use of it. Now let's jump into the payouts of this room. The payouts in Knights of the Round Table are very memorable, especially for those who have never done escape rooms before. There are some very cool reveals. It may be a little bit too obvious for those who are seasoned players, but I still think they're very fun. That's kind of the hard part to play towards experienced players is still keeping that kind of surprise, because as you do more escape rooms, and just like anything, you start to come to expect certain things or notice certain little nuances, and that's okay. And yeah, it may take away a little bit from the surprise, but that's to the job of the creators to find new and innovative ways and unique ways to be memorable and be unique. This room definitely has a few of those moments, and the big biz is not to give it away, but to let you know that yeah, this room does have some of that. And really what it's going to gear towards is, I think if you bring somebody who's never done an escape room before, they're going to be surprised. They're going to enjoy it. So payouts, fun for newer players, maybe not as surprising to experienced players. All right, so after talking about those points, let's wrap this up here. So overall, Knights of the Round Table by LA Dragon Studio, it's a very good escape room. It has a good variety of puzzles, an atmosphere that is very well balanced, and it has memorable payouts. Now, I definitely suggest this room for a group who are new to escape rooms. As I said in the decor section, definitely good. Who does this room really cater to? And I had to pick one. I would have to say it does lean a little bit more towards the family-friendly, less experienced side. I'm not telling experienced players not to go out and check out this room. Experienced players should feel pretty occupied with the room, considering that there are a good variety of puzzles, but it's really not going to be anything that you haven't seen before. The room itself is not really a humongous space. Definitely suggest about 4 people should be pretty good for this room. You can go more. There are a few food places around the area within walking distance, but you might have to drive for a bar if you're looking for those adults out there who want to maybe hit a bar after the room. You might have to drive. There wasn't really anything within close vicinity, but there are a few food places, but it is a tad limited. Now, overall, the really big highlight that I have to say from LA Dragon Studios is that the customer service that they're offering is probably the best that I've experienced. They make sure that you and your group are comfortable. In this kind of business, you gotta have customer service. And unfortunately, not everybody has that as a priority. There has been numerous amounts of times that I've talked to other people who are escape enthusiasts that really they're like, oh, the room, I ask them about a room and they go, the room was good. It was great room. But our game master was just awful, wasn't paying attention, wasn't listening. They just felt very cold. It didn't feel very welcoming. It just kind of it really ruined it, not just for the room itself, but the company too, because some of these escape companies have more than one location, and all it takes is really just one of those locations to really tarnish the reputation of others. So one really big push for LA Dragon Studios is they make sure you're comfortable from the beginning when they're explaining the rules, making sure that you understand that there are, the door's not locked. If you need to leave and use the restroom, that's no problem. Go ahead, do so. A lot of rooms don't want to do that, and I get it. If somebody leaves the room, you're kind of taking yourself out of the immersive atmosphere and experience. But at the same time, that could be kind of turn off, I mean, if everybody in your group understands that, that's fine. No one's going to have that issue. But for those who are maybe new to escape rooms, or those who, don't really know what it's about or have a certain stigma about it, that could be kind of a turnoff. And overall, some people are going to be closed-minded off to even experiencing it in the first place. We don't want that. We want everybody to have an opportunity to at least try escape rooms, because they're fun, they're entertaining, and it's still so new, especially here in the Los Angeles area, and it's growing. It's still very much growing, but we need to get more people more informed and let people know that, hey, we want you to at least try it. End of the day, yeah, you may like it. Yeah, you may not. It's okay. But at least give it a go. Give it a try. Play all out. Have fun. Just check it out. Check out LA Dragon Studios. Their website, ladragonstudios.com. You can book online for their rooms. They do have a deal, 15% off Monday through Thursdays. Definitely take advantage of that. And also, they do offer a discount for those if you have a bigger group. So any group 4 and bigger, you will get the biggest discount. Group of 3 will get a $5 discount, and then the most you would pay would be for 2 people. So, and price-wise, it's very competitive with the other escape room companies out there. So overall, they have great ratings on Yelp. They have good reviews. They're still very, very new. So go check them out. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys ready to help Merlin and take on and become Knights of the Round Table? If there's anyone who's already done this room, what did you think about the room? And as always, if you have any suggestions for any rooms, I want to hear from you guys. Please, hashtag Mystery Ship. Go on to our Facebook page. Also, check out some of our discounts that are on our page, and also news on any new escape rooms that are coming out. It's still growing, guys. Still a lot of new companies are sprouting. We're meeting them. We're getting to know them. And we can't wait to share more of that with you guys. Okay, so for the next episode, for episode 8, we're going to be talking about generations. And now we're talking about 1, 2, 3. 3 different generations of escape rooms. We're going to try to get in depth with it. We're going to go in depth into what is expected out of each generation and what the evolution has really become and where we're at. So it should be a good one. Definitely check it out next week, episode 8, next Wednesday. All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. And until next time from the Mystery Ship, challenge yourself, have fun, and escape well.